So, folks, Ryan Walters, the Oklahoma superintendent, has now resigned. And I literally just put out a video yesterday about him talking about how he wants a Turning Point USA chapter put in every school. And no sooner than I got that video out to you, actually, I don't know if it was already out to you. I put that one out there into the world talking about that, and then got the news that he resigned. So many people were reaching out, he's gone, Brando. And I'm like, well, he's not really gone. He's resigning. And I believe it's so that he can do even more damage to teachers. I believe that's pretty much his goal, is to demonize and destroy education. That's the goal of Maga, because if you have educated citizens, Maga can't thrive. And so, Ryan Walters is stepping down. We're going to talk more about that. But let's roll this clip where he made the announcement that he is resigning.
I'm excited to announce I'll be stepping down as Oklahoma State Superintendent and taking on the role as the CEO of the Teacher Freedom Alliance. We're going to destroy the teachers' unions. We have seen the teachers' unions use money and power to corrupt our schools, to undermine our schools. We are one of the biggest grassroots organizations in the country. We will build an army of teachers to defeat the teachers' unions once and for all. So this fight's going national, and we will get our schools back on track. We will not allow any further union control.
Imagine saying out loud, we're here to destroy the teachers' unions. Imagine actually saying that out loud. But that's really what he's been trying to do the entire time. He has been trying to destroy the system and put in place something that mirrors his indoctrination. He loves to use the words woke indoctrination and stand up against all these woke teachers, but he just wants to put in his own brand of authoritarianism and extremism. And he's resigning, but he's actually resigning so he can position himself in a spot where he can take even more shots at teachers. But watch him right here when he is literally just running away from this reporter. I just have questions about this. Why would a guy be running like this and not just answering the question?
So Ryan, you just mentioned online that you're going to work for this non-teachers union. What do you want to say to Oklahomans who might feel like you're bailing out on them? Can you tell us when you're stepping down and when this job is coming to a close for you? We have to ask when this relationship started, because it seems like you've been pushing kind of this job for some time now. Did it interfere with your job for Oklahoma?
Okay, so why was that such a tough question, and why did he dodge it that hard? And why did he clearly just look so damn uncomfortable in that moment? I mean, that looked like somebody running away from a much harder question than I've seen people. You see people sometimes they're coming out of a trial and they're on trial for something really heinous. You know, they got their head down and they won't look and they won't make eye contact with the camera. That's usually what you see like on an old episode of Matlock when they're coming out of the courtroom, you know. Or you just see somebody, you know, walking out of a courtroom and hanging their head in shame. What's he got to be ashamed about? I mean, he's got a lot to be ashamed about, but I'm just saying, for a guy that it seems so sure of himself, he couldn't just stop and say, hey, you know, this is what I'm going to be doing, because, folks, he really is, said out loud, he's going to go out there and destroy teacher unions. And his state ranks 50th in education. But that's the whole point. MAGA doesn't want education. They want to demonize it. They want to destroy the Department of Education. Hell, they've got Linda McMahon from the WWE in there. I mean, look at what we have. I mean, I know I use the phrase idiocracy, and I see other content creators and friends of mine that do the same kind of thing I do day in and day out, and they name drop idiocracy in their videos, and we talk about it privately and go, damn, we're living in idiocracy, because we truly are. You know, we just really are. For those of you that haven't seen it, it was a comedy that came out in 2005. But when you go back and watch it now, you would definitely think it was a documentary, or you would think it was like some kind of prequel, or you might think it was a horror movie. I mean, it's that terrible. But it just showed how that the world, what happened was this guy got frozen in time and agreed to be part of an experiment. He ended up being froze for 500 years, and he came back 500 years later, and the world was just one big garbage dump, and the president was a porn star that used to be a wrestler. And we're not far from that. I mean, when we watched the RNC and we saw Hulk Hogan up there flexing and ripping off his shirt, everybody was like, "Whoa, we're here. We're at Idiocracy," and we have RFK Jr. over our health, and we have podcasters over the FBI, and we have the WWE lady in charge of education, and we have people like Ryan Walters that are just hell bent on destroying a teachers union. Who says that out loud? I mean, who actually says that out loud? A teachers union. You know, I mean, I come from Appalachia. There's been a whole lot of debates over the years about unions, and you know, where I grew up, there was a time, and not to get sidetracked on a different subject, but I'm just saying there was a time when my part of the world was very pro-union. And if you go back and study Bloody Harlan and you study the Battle of Blair Mountain, the people that I grew up with, our grandparents were very pro-unions. They were very pro-sticking together, and now they're clearly not. And now you got people like Ryan Walters who wants to go out there and destroy education. Now, I've heard some people say that it could be over scandals that he doesn't want to face. You know, we did do the video on here where that there was inappropriate material playing on his TV, and he tried to backpedal out of that one and say that that he didn't do anything wrong. But, you know, I'll leave that one up for them to figure out. I'm not here to say that I was there and I saw what happened, because I clearly didn't. But this guy's just hell-bent on becoming, really at the end of the day, folks, what he really is the most hell-bent on, yeah, he definitely wants to destroy education, and he doesn't want people learning anything outside of his radical indoctrination. But he's also wanting to be a bigger star in the Maga movement. That dude absolutely just sits back. I guarantee you he sits back and just watches videos of Charlie Kirk and pretty much just sits there and says, "Oh, that's who I want to be one day." That's his hero. That's who he wants to be. He wants to have that type of love from Donald Trump, and J.D. Vance, and Elon Musk. So he's going to go over here, and he's going to join up with this group of people who is going to attempt now to destroy teacher unions, because I really just believe he wants to be a bigger star in the MAGA movement, and he wants to destroy education. And he's just one of the, out of everybody that I cover here on the channel and all the people that I talk about, he's one that when I look at him, I just say to myself, I know that guy because I grew up with people like that. I read somewhere that his dad was a minister. I was not shocked. It's just that guy that grows up, probably got picked on back when he was in school, and now he's just trying to take it out on everybody else. Probably didn't get as far as he wanted to in school, so now he's just trying to take it out on everybody else. And he's probably one of these people I could so see him being one of these people. Back in my day, you know, we had to walk to school in the snow and all this stupid shit. You know, I've heard people say some of the dumbest shit about school. You know, they'll call off school around here sometimes if it's too cold, and which they may not do that in other parts of the country, may not do it in Oklahoma, but they'll do it, and then we'll have people around here, "Oh man, when I was a kid, I'd stand up there when it's 10 degrees. That's some bullshit." You know, and it's like, why is that the hill you want to die on, really? I'll tell you all a funny story, and again, I'm kind of getting off subject in this video a couple of times, but so one time I was at a Wii ball game with my son. He's playing Wii ball, and I stand there beside him, and he hits the ball, and then when he hits the ball, I walk to first base with him, and then I stand there while the other kids hit, and you just walk. There's no winners and losers. It's just Wii ball. That's all it is. And I make it to first base, and there's this little girl, and she probably comes up to my knee. She's so small. This little girl gets up to the bat, and she starts trying to take a swing at the ball that's, you know, there, right in front of her, and she cannot hit it. I mean, she is swinging and missing every which way, and me and my son are just standing there waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. And I hear these two redneck dudes behind me. "Man, this is some bullshit. Back in my day, if you didn't hit that ball, by God, you get sent back to the bench. You didn't get participation trophies back in my day." I don't think it was Ryan Walters, but I just, I didn't look back because I was afraid I might know him a little bit better than I wanted to, and I didn't want to, I just like, "God almighty, are you serious?" But I wanted to turn around and be like, "Are you fucking serious right now, really? That's the hill you're going to die on, is that? We're just out here playing Wii ball with kids. It's not the end of the world." But those type of people are the very people set back going, "Yeah, that woke indoctrination." And speaking of that whole bullshit about woke indoctrination, I am in one of the reddest places in the world, and I talk to my son all the time about school, and I say, hey, what's going on at your school? And so far, he has never came back with any Democratic talking points. I mean, it's not like that they're just sitting there, he's not sitting there listening to like speeches of Obama while he's in school. It's crazy to me. They just teach basic values. It's not, I don't even consider it to be Democrat versus Republican. I asked my son one time, I said, so is there any, kids at your school that are gay? And he said, yeah. And I said, is there any kids that say they're trans? He said, no. So it's just like, I said, does the teachers talk about it? Does your principal talk about it? Do they get on the microphone and announce stuff? He said, no, they don't say nothing about it. We never had that conversation. Okay, and I'm in the freaking Bible Belt. But the Ryan Walters of the world will always try to create that straw man just so they can tear everybody down. And that's pretty much it. That's what Ryan Walters is doing now. He's just, he's resigning from being a superintendent so he can work even harder to destroy education.